Welcome, everyone, to episode 5 of UnScripted. I am Leslie with Gokhshtein, of course, because you're tuning in on the Gokhshtein Network. And I am waiting for a few of my teammates to come on, so they're running a little bit behind. But I am excited because today I have Jonathan Morgan on with me. He is a lead crypto analyst and writer for Stockwits. And let me bring him on.
Hello.
Hey, Jonathan, how we doing today?
I'm doing awesome. It's been a wonderful day for crypto. Never mind the SEC soon consensus. I mean, that entity has to do so much to save face. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
We were having a little bit of a chat before we got started, so I am excited to dig into that chat. But before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your journey becoming a lead crypto analyst and a writer for Stockwits, and how you got into the space. Man, that was a mouthful, right?
Sure. Long story short, I'm from South Dakota, lived there my whole life until my wife kidnapped me right before the zombie apocalypse here to Michigan.
Nice.
And going from South Dakota to Michigan, like during the COVID stuff, was like I would imagine like what it was like moving from West Germany to East Germany. Two totally different kind of ways to address that. And then old school ag commodity trader. Then I got into writing and teaching and all this stuff. Got into futures, got into cryptocurrency early, like in early for me, like 2016-ish. Did that, and that's kind of been the bulk of what I've done ever since then is be involved in crypto. And I started working at Stockwits back in June of 2022, I believe, as their lead crypto analyst, and I write their newsletter, crypto newsletter, the Light Paper.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. This is actually perfect timing. We have Julie with us on. Julie, this is John.
Hi, John. How are you? Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties. Can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay?
I can. Nice to meet you.
Perfect. Nice to meet you too.
We can hear you now. Oh, wait. I do hear a little bit of a echo. Do you hear a little bit of a...
Is there an echo on me?
I think so.
Live
technical. Do you hear the echo, John?
I do, yeah. There's a little bit of a on her end, yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can fix that.
Okay, while you're fixing that, John. Okay, so tell us. That's gonna be funny, Jolie. Because I can hear myself every single time that I say
Okay.
something, I can hear myself.
My wife would love your nails.
Okay, how's that? Are we good now?
If
Oh,
I'm talking, I don't hear anything coming back. I don't hear any feedback now.
Are
yeah,
we good?
that's actually perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so John, we were gonna start tapping in. Okay, so you got, okay, the last thing you said, and I'm sorry, I got a little bit distracted. Tell me what you said about the white paper.
Oh, the light paper is our
The white paper.
the cryptocurrency newsletter. We have almost 400,000 subscribers. It goes out daily, Monday through Saturday, and I'm the only writer. Our other newsletter is the Daily Rip. That's the stock market one. That's Tom Bruni, the Tom Bring It On Bruni. He's gonna slap me when he hears me say that. Um, he writes the stock market newsletter, and yeah, I mean it's crypto at StockTwits is relatively new focus, and there's just me over there. So really trying to like grow it over there, and anybody who likes crypto and wants to like look at a space, it's StockTwits is the largest community for people who want to talk about FinTwit, investing, any type of tradable market, because it is dedicated solely to uh, trading and learning more about finance. And it's so we've got 3 million unique users, um, hundreds of thousands of messages a day. I mean, it's crazy how active it is over there. Still kind of boggles my mind, but yeah.
So you're saying that you're the only writer that writes the articles for your department, correct?
Correct. Yep. It's a one man crew. We are very lean at stock, which is the way we like it. Because then, you know, I don't know. I don't have to worry about anybody stealing my ideas.
That's awesome. Okay, so how many articles do you push out a day?
Oh, I don't know how many articles, but it's roughly between like 1,500 to 1,700 words on average. Um, in addition to like posting on StockTwits, interacting with the community on the StockTwits app, and sharing stuff with our social media manager and our other community lead, Tommy. Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth stuff going on, and answering questions. There's a little bit of moderation. StockTwits is you'd have to say something really horrible to get banned from the platform. You have to do something really, really bad, because it's we're pretty. I mean, people who have been banned probably don't think so, but we're pretty like you know don't go nuts. But I mean, you have to do something wrong for us to like kick you off.
So just there's a little bit of leniency.
Yeah, and the app itself is got a lot of awesome stuff. I actually don't know if I'm supposed to say some things or not say some things. So, although I'm the only one who writes the crypto, I mean, if so they're gonna can me, they're gonna have to find somebody pretty quick. Um, like streaming is just gonna be a thing in the future. We've gotten rid of a lot of the spam bots that used to be a huge problem. A lot of the streams, the individual tickers are cleaned up a lot. We're able to add different tickers for uh, crypto very easily and quickly. Um, yeah, it's just it's a blast over there. Actually, it's awesome.
So you enjoy. And so how did you get into working with StockWits? Did you come across them?
Actually, I think the director of personnel over there at the time reached out to me on LinkedIn, I believe. That's how that worked. And the CEO at the time, we have a new CEO, Shiv Sharma, and but the CEO at the time, I really didn't think I was going to get the job, because he's like, hey, what do you think about crypto? And I told him. He goes, what do you think is going to be the next big thing? I think, well, DeFi, I think, is going to be a really big thing. If interest rates keep going up, DeFi is going to be it's a very competitive space for yield. And I mean, it's very young still. I don't think that's going to happen. They're not going to have crypto ETFs and blah, blah. He hated crypto, I think, but I got hired, so I guess it went all right.
Okay, so tell us what you do to stay up to date. How do you prepare? Where do you do your research to put this information out there for your social medias, to write your pieces, etc.?
Um, I mean, there's a lot of great one of the problems with crypto media is a lot of it has become very AI, and
Mhm.
there are some writers out there who, I mean, you want to use AI, that's fine, but I mean, maybe adjust it a little bit so it doesn't look
Yeah.
like AI wrote, because there's a lot of like structure and format and language and words that get used that you can see it. Um, the hardest part is making sure that information is incorrect or that price levels or certain things are correct. But how I keep track of it, I mean, I live and breathe crypto. I mean, it annoys the hell out of my wife because I'm always looking at like TradingView on my phone or pulling up my Ledger app, or I'm looking at like CryptoPanic.com. That's a news aggregator. Checking out the streams on StockTwits. That's actually where I get a lot of the ideas to write about because our users are really active in the space, and there's a lot of communication. I mean, when people start talking about stuff, that's on to write about. So
And that's
yeah, it's
streaming within the app that you pick up that information?
yeah, or yeah, what people are posting, like when you post on X,
Yeah.
you can like see the activity that's going on, and yeah, that's the other cool part about the app that we added not too long ago is we have our own proprietary sentiment data that we actually show you like what the sentiment is from the users and what the message volume is, and which is really a, I mean, this is where the technical analysis trading nerd in me comes in, because when I was or not developing, but looking at this data before, like last year, I mean, there's this old saying that volume precedes price. So if prices are tanking, but you see volume going up,
Right.
that's often referred to as a lead indicator that prices are going to reverse. And it's been my experience though that the message volume, this is not financial advice, this is just my own anecdotal experience, is that StockTwits' message volume is a better lead indicator than the actual traded volume, because you can see um, people talking about stuff earlier than they do actually like start picking it or buying it. It's a pretty powerful tool that we have, just a part of the ticker stream that you can see there. It's a pretty awesome tool.
Hmm. That's pretty neat.
Pretty cool. Okay, so John, let's get into some other good stuff, that has transpired this week, that transpired last night. I know we were talking a little bit about it. So before we get into crypto and all the fun stuff and, maybe some predictions, etc., we can do this at the end. But let's start with the debate last night. Did you watch it? And what the heck did you think about it?
Oh yeah, I watched it, and I think a goat foraging in a ghost pepper field, I think was probably more comfortable than I felt watching that. That sucked. I mean, you always hear like depending on the side of the aisle, like the dude's fine, and then you're like, oh, this guy is not fine. Wow, how did he even end up debating? It was a train wreck that like rolled down the hill of pain, and then it fell into the lake of stop. Yeah, I mean, it was a nightmare. I felt really uncomfortable watching.
But who the heck allowed him, or why did they think that he was, fit, in my opinion, fit for him to debate? Because I think, a lot of us have been seeing clips of him, or, he's been out there doing public speaking events. And, the whole world is watching. America is watching. We're all watching that he is having difficulties responding or articulating himself. He's falling asleep at some of these events. So it's like, in what right mind did people think that he was okay to debate? And then it's like, why are they now freaking out? I'm like, didn't they see these coming? Because I think all of us saw this coming.
That's the part that like because I started like watching some of the montages where they're like, oh, see the left is freaking out. And it's like, well, I don't understand how this is a shock to them. Like, how was that debate something that was, oh my God. I just, and then Trump is, I don't know, was he like being nice?
I
Like
was
not
just going
like,
to say, I didn't watch it, but I really feel like Trump went easy on him because he could have just gone in and annihilated the whole situation. And he basically just kind of sat back and let him dig his own grave. And he didn't even say anything. He's just like, what do you say? Just
oh,
let
like,
him respond.
I really thought the guy was going to go like full bore troll mode. And he was just like, I'm just going to watch. What did Napoleon say? Never interrupt an enemy when they're making a mistake. He followed that to a T.
Yeah, it was crazy to see the timeline, like, because I didn't watch it, but I got my info on the timeline after the fact, after IRL Alpha ended, and everybody was posting the same clips. So I felt like I didn't really miss much, but that one like really long pause where he just was so absent-minded, like he didn't even know where he was, I felt like.
Yeah, I mean, I have to, and CNN actually wasn't that bad. I mean, they're pretty good, but oh my God, I bet whoever was in charge of like Biden's PR team. I mean, you know who would be really sucked to be is whoever. What's her name? The press secretary. I bet she is like wants to find a job and get out of there, and she's like probably more annoyed than a mosquito in a mannequin factory because it's just got to be like a nightmare for her. How do you explain that?
So, okay, now we talked about Trump taking it easy on Biden. So, what did you guys think about the moderators, taking it easy as well? Because, typically we're accustomed to the moderators not taking it easy on them and, coming with their questions or, et cetera. And it was almost like, they were not present or they were just there to ask questions.
They were there to aid Biden. It seems like they were kind of directing the ship for him.
I mean, I honestly, I kind of like the whole, no audience thing. I thought, and I wish it was, like the other guy was more lucid, but without the audience there, where you feel like you have to like play to the crowd and stuff, you could probably like hear more context and content that is. I mean, I thought the moderators would have been like way worse, but yeah, it wasn't horrible. I mean, the whole thing was horrible, but they weren't horrible.
I mean, it was almost like watching at times a comedy show, in my opinion. It's like whoever laughs, when they're watching a presidential debate. And this is like the first time I actually busted out laughing a few times because, you're in disbelief and the faces that they would make too. It was literally watching a freaking comedy show. It's like when they would make certain comments. I mean, this presidential debate is memeable. You don't know how many little screenshots I have that I've already been sending to people this morning. Anytime they say something that I don't like, I'll send them one of a little screenshot, and they told me they're gonna block me until the president, it's over because I went crazy with those little screenshots this morning.
It's so funny because I told someone last night, I said, Trump's face alone is the response. And then, of course, now you're saying, oh, yeah, I screenshotted his face. And that's my response to people today.
Yeah, when there's no audience to pan to, there's really not a lot for whoever's behind the camera to like edit when both guys are providing such golden moments for memes. I mean, it's what if they get a bonus for that? Whoever's like running the camera.
I swear it was wild.
It's
Wild,
sad though,
wild.
because I feel like I used to feel proud watching the presidential debate. I would feel like a sense of country and a sense of like, oh, we're going to have, a good 4 years ahead because of all of these wonderful, wonderful or not policies that are being laid out. But either way, it's like at least one of the candidates gave me a little bit of hope for where things were going. And this time, I don't have a lot of hope.
And I think a lot of ways, people say the public's dumb. I don't think we are after watching that, because we know more about what the president has to do these days than any time in history. Like, and who the hell wants that job? 250 grand a year is a lot of money, but not enough to do whatever the hell you have to do to be the president. I mean,
Mm-mm.
really, who wants to do that? You looked at the guys who are president for 4 or 8 years, like they look like husks of the human they were when they started. Like, who the hell honestly wants that job?
Boss everybody around. Not me. But you know what? I was reading a little bit last night and this morning, some replies on different type of posts. And one of the things that I started seeing even from other big politicians is that this was kind of a ploy to set up the stage to get him out and put somebody else in the running. What do you think of that?
I think it's too late. How do you win people over with a new candidate so soon? But I don't know.
Can they though? I mean, like, kind of late in the game. I mean, I don't know how the Democratic Party process or the Republican Party process, for that matter, how that works. But like, can you just like swap the guy out and like transfer the? I don't know how that works. It just seems like that seems too easy to do, but maybe it isn't.
Who knows? I mean, because for them to start freaking out last night and start, talking about,
Pivoting.
yes, and then, maybe classifying, or I don't know, that he's unfit to run and then removing him and then replacing him. I mean, do you think that is possible? Who knows? Probably have to do a little bit, maybe get some people who are experts in this and ask them those type of questions.
They'd have to invoke the 25th Amendment, but then you have Kamala Harris. She'd become president. So what, are you going to ditch her? Like, how do you wrap your head around that? It is a goddamn mess. It is a huge ass mess.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So where do you think we stand with in the crypto space with all of this? It's like they didn't even mention crypto last night. They didn't mention anything about that. I was hoping they would.
Well, first off, I don't even want to think about what Biden would have said about crypto. Something about apples and unicorns, probably. But I mean, Trump. I mean, I crypto. They keep saying it's like a big election thing, and yeah, maybe it is, but I don't think it really was. People who are in crypto already know who they're voting for, or who rather, they know who they're not voting for. That debate wasn't going to trip any crypto person's brain to support one or the other.
I felt like Trump would have been the only one to maybe say something about crypto. But, I don't know if you guys have been following the whole DJT token with Martin Shkreli and whether that is or isn't Barron Trump's coin. And, it's so messy that like maybe it's just easier to not mention it.
That is one of the top trending tickers on StockTwits, the DJT ticker. I mean, wild messaging goes on there.
I've sat in hours of spaces with Martin Shkreli just to kind of try and pick it apart and see if there's truth or no truth. And he's standing so firm on that ground that I have trouble believing that he would lie like that so much. Like staying up till 3:00 in the morning, his time fielding questions, never, pivoting on his statements and having conflicting information. Like it lines up every single time he tells the story. So I don't know. It's an interesting one.
And he's somebody more than anybody involved in it who really needs to watch what they say. So if he's
could go back to jail, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's got a lot to lose.
So you guys do think that there is some truth to what he is saying then?
I think so. I think so. I think that maybe Zach XBT did investigation and thought he had it all figured out. And, if it happened the way that Martin says it did, which is that, Barron wanted to launch the coin and Martin is a family friend and was going to help him and his friend launch this token. Well, his friend is only 17, Barron's 18. Neither of them know how to launch a coin. So it originated from Martin. And he said, I gave the seed phrase and everything is Barron Trump's. And the most interesting aspect to me is not a single coin has been sold from the dev wallet. So explain that. If it's a cash grab, why aren't they selling?
Right. And that's so there's a question of like, is that person probably honest? I mean, Martin Shkreli's not a dumb dude. I know a lot of people don't like the guy. Yeah. He's kind of a dick sometimes, but God, does anybody not know somebody like Martin Shkreli? or have
that
friends?
Much money. That's a dick.
Right. And he understands blockchain. I mean, if you have, it's a public ledger is a public ledger. You can follow the money that's why we can track, the wallets of the Bitcoin ETF providers. I mean, it's very easy to watch where the money's going in and out. It's hard to lie about it if it's publicly accessible.
And again, with him being, if he did something malicious and was lying and launching coins, I would think that would potentially put his freedom in jeopardy. And so that's where I feel like I kind of feel like he's telling the truth. So it's just a really weird predicament for him to be in, right? Because he does have the most to lose in this situation.
Yeah, and I doubt. Well, maybe he, I don't know. Maybe he anticipated this coming up at some point. I feel like a guy like that who has had legal things happen to him would have anticipated something like this coming up.
Right. Well, but I think he thought Barron was going to come forward. And so I don't think he anticipated shouldering the entire responsibility. I think he thought Barron was going to come out and be like, yes, this is my coin. And the coin was going to pump and everything was going to be great. But as soon as there became the contention behind, is it Barron's coin? Is it Martin's coin? And people not being sure, that's where Trump's team was like, well, no, maybe we don't want to be associated with this because it could harm the election. And so, but again, like with all of the negative publicity, not a single coin has been sold from the dev wallet, from the main wallet. So
right.
I don't know. I'm watching it. I still pop in his spaces. I still think, he's, like you say, he's got a terrible reputation, but he's the age of Trump's older children. So, could he be a family friend? That's totally plausible. He's about protecting corporate industry, and that's what Martin was all about. And his Pharma Bro case is, it's the right that he has as a business owner to take ownership of that and set the price. And, whether that's wrong or not, that's up to people to decide if whether he's a good guy or not. But, does that inherently make it illegal? It doesn't, because like we protect corporations here. So and that's how Donald Trump operates. So it's not outside of the realm of possibility for me.
It's just madness. I keep muting myself and disappearing. Yeah, I think it's just madness. I didn't know what to think of it either, especially when it first started and they were going back and forth. And I'm like, well, who's lying? But I think you make a great point, Julie, because, he is probably the person that has the most to lose. So when you're putting it from that perspective, it's like, okay, and there's a big stigma that, politicians, tend to bend the reality of things. I don't want to say they lie, but what's a nice way to put it? They bend the reality of things, right? Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think I don't know, you get to I don't know what age that is, but you get to a certain age and like people can feel out BS. People can figure out when a politician is pandering. It's not everybody can, I guess, but I think most people can. And yeah, it's is what it is.
So moving forward, John, what do you think is happening? What's next for crypto? What are your thoughts, especially with the elections coming up?
I don't think the elections have really anything to do with how crypto is going to perform. I mean, maybe a little bit, if Biden was like really blatantly like, if I get elected, I'm going to kill crypto, that would be a big deal. And if Trump was like, yeah, we're going to make this the biggest, to replace the dollar, I mean, that'd be different. But I think like the most important thing for crypto, like lately, is the ETF, the Ethereum ETF, VanEck filing for Solana ETF. I think 21 Shares did just today. The Supreme Court decisions. These are all things that are way, 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 way more important than whoever the president is.
So talking about meme coins, because, it's like there has to be, with everything that's going on, there has to be some type of correlation, especially leading up to the election, because, all of a sudden, for the past month, it seems like it's been longer, but it's been 6 weeks, Julie, or a month, that we started seeing an influx of celebrities coming into this space, dropping meme token after meme token after meme token. And if you go back and study some of these celebrities, they have that connection with Trump or his parties, or our big MAGA supporters. So, I mean, I don't know how I can put it. To me, it seems like, there has to be some correlation, or, something. I mean, are they raising funds for, I don't know, like.
Yeah, somebody said
How do I
maybe
put
it
it
was
without?
like their manager, like maybe they all share a managing agency, and the agencies maybe kind of directing each of them like, hey, launch this coin, launch this coin. But it is weird that they're all kind of jumping on this bandwagon now. And they're like, look, there's way more celebrities than can be successful celebrity coins. So not every celebrity can launch a coin and have it be successful. So it's like, I don't know. I did see that Jason Derulo's coin was kind of doing a little bit of numbers, and people were giving him publicity yesterday, but I just, I don't think that there's enough D-list celebrities for these coins to continue holding good liquidity.
I mean, you don't think it can be a form of fundraising for the campaign?
It totally could. But MAGA, I think MAGA coin was by Trump, wasn't it? That was his camp.
And the NFTs.
Yeah.
I mean, you can track those too. It's Donald Trump's wallets he's a crypto millionaire many times over because of his NFTs, and whether he actually knows that or not, I don't know. I mean, like, the guy's very busy. He probably has more things to worry about than like, how is my NFT of me riding a dragon holding a bazooka doing? Like, he's probably has other things going on, but people in his family party camp, like, they obviously know how well or poorly they're doing.
I don't see Mother being like hardcore, let me support Donald Trump.
She's one of them. She hasn't mentioned no, she hasn't mentioned him, right? Because I think there are a few. So we already know, like, Caitlyn Jenner is a huge Trump supporter. Little Pump is a huge Trump supporter. Who else? I know I've seen a few more that are huge Trump supporters. I can't remember right now off the top of my head, and I think that's kind of what led me to think, okay, was it an organ? I'm just a conspiracy theorist. So, I mean, don't even mind me or what I'm saying right now. So I'm thinking, was it something that it was kind of organized? I mean, there is a guy that we know, Jolie, right, in this space that he, now he was going in launching all these celebrity coins and then rugging, and then they were doing community takeover. And you know what, with the debate last night, can we do a CTO for America, community takeover for
Right. I think we tried that, and yeah, people ended up in jail. It's infamously Insurrection Day.
Because I kind of feel bugged after last night. I'm like, okay, I think a lot of us felt the same way last night. Can we do a CTO for America?
It's well, now that you say that, somebody's going to create a token. The thing is that more and more people, it's not like common knowledge yet, but it's very easy to create your own cryptocurrency off of some network, like off Ethereum, Polygon, the Cardano. It's very easy to create a series of NFTs. The hard part is getting it out there where enough people want to pump it. And I don't believe that these things are horribly dangerous to the public, because if you want to buy an NFT or crypto, you have to go through. It's not like opening up like a Forex account or Robinhood account where you just like boom fund. It's a little bit more in-depth process for crypto and even for purchasing NFTs, where there's the person buying, the investor. There's not investors in this. The traders, they're very sophisticated. Like most of them know what they're getting into. Like, I bought 1,000 ADA worth last night or the night before of Charles Hoskins's pet pig, Nike. That is a ticker. I got it added to StockTwits. I took a picture of my order on a Dex Hunter on the Cardano. It's a Dex aggregator on Cardano. I was like saying, I have joined this club, and it's nuts. I mean, the thing has tanked. It was a stupid 1,088 to throw at it, but it's just I think there's people like me doing that. Just it's nuts. I've been in this since 2016. I've yet to be the dude that's like, who has the headline like, oh, look at this trader spent $1,000 and turned it into 30 million in 2 days. So it's like that. And you look at the people who have done this, that same thing happens to them as people who've won the lottery. They lose it. It's gone. It's history.
I think that Nike's going to do well, though.
I think so too. Like, the pig is endearing to people.
It is. The name is endearing. The story is endearing, and the fact that it is Charles' pet pig, and he rescued it, and he tells us a story about it. It just makes the pig more lovable. I don't know. It's just like this big, huge, fat pig. But when you get to know,
it is a huge, fat pig. He was feeding it dehydrated apples. I think it's the same dehydrated apples I give our kids for snacks.
Well, but the bear. He lived in an apartment, and his owner was feeding him bacon. He was like living on bacon. He was a cannibal pig in an apartment, and Charles.
Oh God, I thought you were talking about Charles for a second. I'm like, that's an old pig, and I didn't know he was such a making bacon with making.
Yeah. No, I'm all about the pig. So you're still early. Don't worry. There's still people that are.
Yeah, no. I think once you listen to the story of it, I don't know, and then you see the pictures, and then you see Charles posting the pictures with the pig and stuff. I don't know, it just makes it more lovable. How did you get into it, or how did you find out? Are you a Cardano maxi, or have you been in the Cardano community for a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I've held Cardano since 2017. Dollar cost averaged into it since who knows when, but I like with a lot of like Algorand. I don't own any Ethereum, Polygon, Fetch, the Graph. I've got a whole bunch of everything all over the place. But yeah, it's I don't know why I have like a lot of heart. I'm an unabashed like Cardano fan. I don't know why it gets a lot of hate.
It gets so much hate.
It's weird.
I went to a Bitcoin zone last night and was the pro Cardano rep, and I got hazed pretty good, but I was ready for it. I put up a good fight. Talked about as many deliverables and, innovations as possible.
And Charles Hoskinson himself, that's actually one of the reasons. It's like when you invest in a company or a stock, like you want to know who makes it up, who started it, who's a part of it. I mean, the guy's very principled, and he's stood by his project. He hasn't left it. He hasn't abandoned it. And he's probably one of the best voices for crypto, mostly because he's well spoken and he doesn't dress like he just walked off of the as an extra from the Hunger Games for District 1. I mean, he's not dressed like a total moron and walking around. I mean, he looks like a normal dude. He acts like a normal dude. And he's very intelligent. So I mean, he's a good ambassador for not just Cardano but the whole crypto industry.
And he's here in the US and fights for us in government and tries to be a good steward of the industry. And there's no other layer one founders really that are as proactive as he is. So yeah, I love seeing him get so much positive recognition lately. So yeah, I'm hoping his pig continues to fly.
No, and you know what? He is so chill and humble in person too. I mean, he is, when you get to meet him in person, if you ever do or if you haven't, he is such a pleasure to be around with. And he has like the craziest sense of humor, one that you would not expect. The responses and the things he says, he makes you chuckle.
I love his community knows how to have fun with him too. Like there's a girl in this space. Her name is Fart. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's one of the Cardano girls. She literally every day has been tagging him, Charles, show me your hog. And it's so funny. Like I don't know anybody that's gonna sit there and tell Charles that. But he's so fun and playful with people. So yeah.
That Cardano girls thing, that was like that really came up like fall of last year, summer of last year, was it?
Mm-hmm.
And like I was in bed and I was like going through my X app and I'm like what is this? And I didn't say that out loud, but my wife was like, "What are you looking at?" I was like, "This is no. This is a crypto thing." Yeah, but it was like the Cardano girls thing. That's when I found out about it.
I had not heard about, I think I had been in my own bubble. I had not heard about like the Cardano girls until we came back from the event. We attended the book.io event. That's where we met Charles, and that's where I got to learn a lot more about the Cardano community. And then after that, that's when I started learning about, there are Cardano girls. But I do own, ADA, and I have for the longest time. I just never really tapped into the community or explored that a little bit more until like a few months prior to going to book.io when we started hearing Charles in spaces. And then I heard him one day in David's space. They were having a space in the X platform, and then he was in there. And the funny thing, please do not kill me or cancel me, anybody, but Charles was up there and he was speaking in the space. And I think, was it Josh or one of you, Julie, that posted it in our internal group chat, like, oh my God, Charles is in, he's speaking there on the platform, he's having a conversation, and everybody was so stoked and excited. And I was like, don't kill me, but who's Charles? And they're like,
no.
I know. I'm so embarrassed. But
I've been hoodwinked 43 minutes into this.
I know. And you know what? This is why I love my team, because we control each other and be okay with it. And they came back and they were like, Leslie, really? Like, really, Leslie, you don't know? And I'm like, no, who's Charles? And then I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and click on his profile and stuff. And I was like, oh, shit. He is a
Was it
founder.
like that scene in The Sandlot when the main character goes, who's Baby Ruth?
Yes, exactly like that. That's how it was. But I think that my team wanted to cancel me at that very moment. Because they were so excited, it's like, oh my God, Charles is in the space. He's talking to David, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
oh, wait, he was in the space.
Yeah, he was.
Man.
Yeah, he was in the space. He was talking, to David. They were asking him questions. He was super friendly. Everybody was so excited. And that was like the first time that I came across him or had ever heard him speaking in a space. And, he was very, very interesting. He was very captivating in whatever he was saying at that point. And I was like, man, who I didn't know who he was. I was just listening. And then when they posted it in the chat, and they were like, oh my God, we can't believe Charles is here, or however they posted it, whatever they posted. And I'm like, who's Charles? I'm like, who is he? And they're like, bro, really? They were like coming at me that time.
It's so funny. My mom is a huge Charles Hoskinson fan. Like, she was watching his live streams before I was really even deep into crypto. Like, I kind of was trading on a central exchange, but didn't know the ins and outs of it. But oh my gosh, I have to bring her to Rare Evo because she's such a huge fan. I'm like, you have to meet him. You'll get a chance to. Like, just come. So yeah,
I'm thinking about going to Rare Evo. StockTwits isn't gonna do a booth, but I'm gonna bother Tommy to like send me all like this StockTwits swag. I'm just gonna wear it around like an idiot. But I've thought about going, but I haven't figured. I should have bought a ticket earlier because I think what is it? The next hike is like in July.
It's not bad though. The general's only $300.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the more affordable conventions, I feel like.
I mean, what's the general like? If you're gonna go to that, if you're gonna like buy a plane, I mean, it's Vegas, it's cheap. But if you're gonna go to Vegas and get a hotel, you might as well do like the whole shebang and schmooze with all the people that you can schmooze with.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you going to be going to Bitcoin Tennessee next month? Oh wait, yeah, we're almost in July.
Yeah, God, that is next month already.
Today.
I can't hear it now.
I don't know actually. It's hard when there's only like one. Like if Tom writes the daily rip, so the two of us try to like figure out how to like do things because I'll cover the daily rip, he'll cover the light paper, and then that's like doing 2 newsletters with about like 4,000 to 4,500 words. It's a lot, but yeah, I like going to those things. Those are fun.
They are. Well, if we hope maybe if you go to Rare Evil, you'll get to meet Julie there. I'm not sure if I'm going to that event yet, but I know that I will be.
Leslie!
Oh.
I'm going to come get you and bring you.
I haven't told my team yet. Oh, shoot. Is this live? Is this really
live? This is not the alpha.
It says live in the upper left-hand corner. Oh, it's going to be a really hell of a thing you're going to have to edit.
Oops. I just got discovered. But yes, I'm not sure yet if I'm going because it's going to be Rare Evo. And I think VCon is right before it. So VCon, Rare Evo. And then prior to that, it's Tennessee. So it would be Tennessee, VCon, Rare Evo.
Three within 3 weeks is going to kill me. But yeah, I'm planning to hit them all.
Yeah. So for me, I'm not sure, which ones for Bitcoin, definitely, I'm going to be on that one 100%, but don't know yet about Rare Evo or VCon. It's like I have to pick one or the other.
Okay.
Type of scenario. I know. I would love.
Okay, Leslie. I need time to process this.
I love Vegas. Who knows? I might end up at both. I don't know yet.
Yeah, you have to.
I have no idea. That's a decision that the wife will make and the kids will make. But after today, like, I'm sorry, this is a little off topic. They say 2s are terrible. 3-year-olds are assholes. I thought this was supposed to end at 3. Ever since our oldest turned 4, I feel like I can see myself in 20 years. I'm in a Netflix special saying he was such a sweet boy because I swear the kid is, I don't know. There's something that just, he never listens. Always smashing things, breaking things. Well, not all the time, but like just being a 4-year-old. It's just, yeah.
3 is definitely the toughest age. I would have to agree with that. And then, yeah, it doesn't like go away overnight.
I was led to believe that would happen, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
those are like the beautiful years. You know, they say the what is it? The terrible twos. I don't know. My kids
2,
are
I
older.
think, is cute.
Terrible
2 is
twos.
cute.
2
3
wasn't
is
bad.
terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
I think-
three's awful.
I mean, between 3 to 5, brace yourself. That is what I am going to tell you. Brace yourself, because it's like you feel 3 is terrible. 4, once they hit 5, you're like, oh crap. And then, you know, it kind of slows down for a little bit. And that's for me, from my experience. And then right when they go into their teens,
Teenagers.
oh heck no. And then to me, mine kind of calmed down, you know, once they got to high school.
Yeah.
You know, I love that age when they were in high school, but when
You're
they
the
hit,
only person who has kids I've ever heard say that. I love my kids as teenagers. I'm the only person I've ever heard say that.
you really, well, and you know, I didn't like them like baby teens. So like they're 13, I would say right at the end of 12, the 13, 14. Yeah, I love my kids, but
They
I didn't
get
like
a
them.
mouth on them, don't they?
Yeah.
They just talk back and they think they're funny and it's not. And it's, yeah.
Yes, but once they hit like, you know, the end of the freshman year through their senior year, I mean, I loved them. We had so
So
much
fun.
fun. They were like my little homies, best friend,
Besties.
but very well disciplined. And you know, now that they're adults, it's like we have like the best relationship. They're funny. They still annoy me though.
That's awesome.
I will never forget the video your daughter sent of the Easter basket, and she's like crying, and she's 25.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love it,
Oh
'cause
yeah.
that's
So my daughter sent me a video, my youngest daughter, and she's like, "This is gonna be me when I'm 25." And it was a woman crying, and they're like, "My mom doesn't love me," and it was something like, "Why doesn't your mom love you?" Because she didn't send me an Easter basket. And the girl was 25. My daughter's like, "This is gonna be me," and I kid you not, every year they're like, "Mom, are you gonna send us something for Easter?" I'm like, "Hell no!" I'm like, "No, that ended a long time ago."
That's awesome.
So yeah, because they're not married, they don't have any kids, you know, they still expect for me to treat them as, you know, my babies. I'm like,
babies.
you guys ain't babies no more, nuh-uh. And
What are
then
you doing here?
yeah,
Where's the
and then
basket?
we're in a group chat, and every day they're like, "Mom, send me 100. Mom, this," and I'm like, "Y'all have jobs, no."
Send me 100. Is that like I need a 20?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
inflation.
you know, it's like yes, exactly. So by the time that your kids are older, John, they're probably gonna be like, "Send me 200."
It'll
Send
be 200, yeah. Wait, didn't
I'm
Trump?
sorry, son, but I hate to tell you, but your inheritance was lost on a pig. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm like, I lost all my money in these meme coins. I am not leaving you guys anything behind.
I mean, you lost all
Your
of it. Well, son, I
inheritance
was
is
drinking
dust.
whiskey one night, and I just thought these bears are not going to shake me out. I'm going all in, and that's why I'm here.
That's why, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't believe we're already coming to top of the hour. We have about
Oh, holy
7
cow.
more minutes. You know, that's what happens, John, when you get together with ladies. You know, it's like the conversation just goes, and by the time you blink your eyes, it's like, what's next?
Yeah, that's how it goes, I guess.
Oh my God. And you know, of course, you being married, you kind of already know a little bit how it goes. Or when we get together with the girlfriends.
Oh God. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, my wife's you guys would get along with my wife. Yeah, she's I don't, if you saw my wife, and like we're two totally different people. She's not like dad bod balding like I am. She's very well put together. She's smart. And yeah, like, and she's a psychologist. So, by the way, which is not really a fair thing in a marriage, because I don't know if I've ever won an argument, or if I thought I've won one, if she made me think I won. I don't know. It's not a very fair arrangement.
Okay, so she is a psychologist. I love
Yes.
that.
James.
So how does she
And-
deal with you? No, I'm kidding.
Oh God. Well, you know how like in some relationships, like you have the option or you have the ability to just not talk about stuff. Not an option. Not an option. And she's a PsyD, not a PhD. Like a PsyD is a doctor of psychology, not like a doctor of philosophy. So like she's like a Jedi master, not a Jedi.
Oh, wow.
And she does like, although I do want to like humble brag about her clientele. She has her own practice. Her clientele is all women who have had like stillbirths, miscarriages, um, uh, postpartum depression. That's the kind of, and I don't know how she comes home and she's like, "How's your day?" And I'm like, "Oh, that goes a down market, the pig coin of mine, blah, blah." And like she has to hear these horror stories all day long, and I'm like, my worst day is nothing like what she's heard every day.
So how does she deal with it? Or how does she deal with your shenanigans? Because I already know how we roll in this space, especially the men, no pun intended. But the minute our banks go down, it's like everybody goes crazy.
Well, I mean, I guess that's top of the hour, but like
No, you're fine.
I mean, I was a trader for a while, and I mean, I've talked about this like in other things before, but like trading is hard, and people who want to do it for career, I would just say like, don't don't try it, because it's the antithesis of normal human behavior. I know they say money isn't everything, but like money is the thing that puts a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food in your stomach, and especially if you have a family, that does it for all those people. And so when the money number starts to go down, you do panic. And when you panic about your money, especially for men, the lizard part of the brain kicks in, the amygdala sends that fear thing up to the hypothalamus, whatever, and then you're in fight or flight mode. And at that point, you're either like, fuck it, you walk away from the computer praying to God everything's okay when you get back, or you start to throw more money at it. I mean, trading is very hard to do as a career, and then to do it for a long time. It's I'm very, very sensitive to folks who try to make trading a career, because I mean it had me like on the floor on my knees, and I know the shame and the fear that comes when you lose all your money. But at the same time, I think that's something you got to go through. Like you have to go. I don't know what amount it is, but if you want to make trading a career, it's like you have to lose some amount of money that it is so catastrophic to your mental health that, like, if you still love to do it, then maybe you're meant to do it. But it's so difficult. I have no idea how we got on that tangent.
Oh, because we were asking questions about wifey coming home and you venting, and then so I do have 2 questions. So if you still have time, because
I got plenty of time.
Interesting. Okay, so number 1, when you vent to her, and when you're feeling all of those emotions that you described, and then up your spine and stuff like that, what is some advice that she gives you, or do you how does she calm you down from that stress and that worry?
Oh, therapy. I go every week. Like, if I actually, and not to like joke around, well, actually to joke around, but if you want like a fast track to like interrupting errors in your trading, again, not financial advice, like go get therapy, because trading has nothing to do with trading system, the market you're in. It has everything to do with how you're responding to the loss, or the fear of the loss of your money. That's and as soon as you can like figure that out, that's that you get better, or you become more cognizant of it. And I don't believe in like people saying, "Oh, you can't go trade like a robot. You can't be afraid of losing your money." Well, who the fuck's gonna like not be afraid of losing their money? Like,
Right.
Everybody is. So yeah, it's that's what I would suggest. People want to get going to trading, like, don't get therapy as a joke, but like get therapy serious, because the more you know about you, it's almost like a superpower in a lot of ways.
Okay, that makes sense. It's understanding you, understanding how you deal with these adversities, or your output of your feelings when you get those inputs that you might not like. And then the other question that I have for you is, you said that you've been trading for a while, and one of the things that is something that I hear, and it's very common. It's, especially for baby traders or for people coming in, that what I have heard, it takes a while before you actually start seeing a reward. At the beginning, you might have, that beginner's luck. And then after that, you're going to probably see red in your P&L for a while. And that it takes even up to 3 to 4 to 5 years before they master that. Is that accurate? Was that the same in your case?
Oh yeah. It took a while for me to like get to a point where I was like, okay, I can do this. But then when I started having kids, I'm like, I want to live past 50.
Yeah.
And when, especially when like you do it on your own, but yeah, it does take a while. And, hopefully people figure out early on whether it's something they can or can't do. But yeah, it's paying your tuition. And listen, I think a lot of people confuse. And when I used to do like a lot of coaching and teaching, like the people who are worst people to get into trading are people who've already had success in their life, like doctors, attorneys, entrepreneurs that did really well with their like I want to do the next big thing, and that's trading. Like they come with this baggage that is positive, where like they started out on their own, they did something hard, difficult, they've made it. I think that's going to translate to trading, and the market doesn't fucking care. It does not fucking care where you came from. The market is always going to move in the direction to cause the most amount of harm to the most amount of people. And that's just how it works. And yeah, it's brutal. It is brutal.
So do you think that the people that are in this space, especially right now with the meme coin being such a huge craze, and we see time and time again some of these wallets, whale wallets, they're making ton of money, shitload of money. Do you think that's just luck, or is that something that it's an expertise? Or
no, it's a lot of that is luck. And the only reason that we get to see it now is because of on-chain analytics, where we can filter and see these. You can see these accounts where or people like show evidence of it from their accounts where like they bought something for $100 and they made like $1 million on it, as an exaggerated example. But those the amount of people trying to do that is there's millions of people in crypto all around the globe, and not a lot of people will end up making it big. But meme coins are just for a lot of meme coins, it's just gambling. But what makes, I think, meme coin traders or gamblers different than regular gambling is that a lot of people in the meme coin space who are participating, they know that the money they're going to throw at it is probably not going to make a return, but they're hoping, because of how many examples we see now, that they'll be one of the people who's going to make it, like that's going to, kick it. So I think, and that's what really annoys, like, I think like TradFi money, is that there's so many people like 30 plus who are doing that and not just putting that money to save it stuff.
Yeah. So do you chart?
Oh yeah. That's my thing.
Really? Oh my God. I'm gonna have to tell David, because he loves when people that chart come on his live. He loves like to do it live.
My mentor actually at Midwest Commodities, he told me that if I want to learn how to trade and do analysis, he said, you'll pick the one thing that you want, that you like the most, and chart it by hand. So I still do that. Like I use the old school 8x8 graph paper that like the old school fathers of technical analysis like W.D. Gann, the old traders like James Livermore, where they used to chart everything by hand. Mm-hmm. I do that still with Bitcoin's quarterly charts.
Really?
And and it is a real thing. It's weird, like like with trading, whatever instrument you're trading, it's like the hard part is getting into the feel of the price action. Like it's like singing in harmony in a choir, or like birds flying in a flock, or fish swimming in school. Like getting to be where you just kind of like have this gut feeling of how something is moving. You get that when you chart by hand.
Really?
It just takes a long ass time. So you can't do that on an hourly chart with 15 instruments. That's just not possible. but doing it on a long-term time frame, at least for me, I mean, it's an edge that's hard to like quantify or explain.
So have you
Sure.
charted Bitcoin then?
Oh yeah, that's the one. I used to chart the EUR USD, the euro dollar forex pair, but now I just do because it's the beast. So
That is so freaking dope. Okay, so where do you think if what's your gut feeling about Bitcoin?
like short term, like I think a lot of the valuations that people put for 100K like over the next few years is really low. That it's weird. Like if you're new to Bitcoin, you're more comfortable with hearing or crypto. You think 500,000 for Bitcoin is 100% reality. For those who have been through a couple or a few bear markets, we're like, 500,000 Bitcoin. I don't know. I feel like I've been slammed. I've been hit across the face a few times by this market. I don't know if I feel a little apprehensive about that kind of number. But I mean, I remember when it was $500. I never thought it was going to be like 10 grand. Nobody ever thought it was going to be like 30 grand. And here we are. I mean, it's just, and then you have institutions involved. And you have an asset class that is new. It has a limited supply. We know how much of it is only ever going to exist. So yeah. I think like Bitcoin itself and just crypto in general, when people say like, oh, we're early, like this isn't even early. This is still like nascent level stuff. It's still so early. But long term, I think Bitcoin, unless something changes, sorry, shut me up if I get too far here.
No, you're fine.
I think like the real like brain nerds at BlackRock and Fidelity and stuff, I think the decentralization issue is going to be something that the risk assessors are going to look at and go, oh, okay, well, Bitcoin's supply is decentralized, but the people who mine it, the entity that makes it run, it says decentralized as the Russian economy. Okay, there's not a lot of Bitcoin miners out there. I mean, there is if you could, but there's not like hundreds of thousands of them. It's not like proof of stake protocols or networks. I think that's something that's gonna be like a risk for investment money. Like Ethereum is switched to proof of stake, but like everything's on well, what happens if Amazon's like, no, we're not going to let you use this AWS anymore? That's going to shut the whole thing down. Like, so I think like really decentralized entities, protocols are going to be something that are going to be a big investment in the future. In addition to liquid staking, like I love Polkadot. I think Polkadot's awesome. What I don't love about Polkadot is I put the money in, and if I want to get a reward, I have to wait a while, and then I have to wait to take it out. If I go to the bank's like, okay, you can take it out, but you're going to have to wait 12 days. What the fuck? No, I don't want to wait 12 days. I want it now. Also, it might cause a lot of holders to question, are the people behind it, do they think it's going to be okay? Cardano, Tezos, Nano, some other cryptos. Liquid means you put it in, you take it out whenever you want. There's no waiting period for the reward. There's no waiting period to get it back. You can take it, you can put it in, take it out at will. I don't like my shit being held hostage, no matter how high the return is.
I heard in I think David's space yesterday, Polkadot, and then I heard Ton. Okay, what David's gonna kill me. Oh my god. But what the heck is Polkadot? Like, is it a platform? Is it
Yeah.
Don't shoot me. I'm
blockchain.
asking questions. I'm learning.
Polkadot, parachains. I mean, it's another platform that you build on. Yeah, it's for lack of a better word, but Polkadot was really, really popular like in 2021-ish.
John, look, I'm in the popular stuff. I'm in the popular famous stuff. I'm trying to get into other things. I'm learning as I go. John is gonna be like, what the hell is she doing over there running a blockchain media company? And she asking these questions. But you
Well,
know what? I like to surround myself with
it's
smarter
too
people.
much.
Yeah, it is.
Like when like this Stockton CEO is like, tell me about like Bonka Donka Shibaba. I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't tell him that. I use Google real quick to tell me, so I sound like I know what I'm talking about. But there's so much stuff going on. It's like it's impossible. Like that fucking hamster game on Telegram that's got like 120 million users. It's the one where you just constantly punch the hamster on your phone. Like I don't know, but for whatever reason, it's insanely popular, and it's on the TON network. TON's the ticker. That's the Telegram network. I don't get it. I don't get it. I downloaded them like am I too old to appreciate the stupidity or fun of this? But I didn't. But it's insanely popular. But I don't get why it is. But it is. And it's hard to keep track of all these things.
I mean, I created a Cardano wallet a few months ago, and I actually bought my first meme coin. What was it, last week? Yeah, last week. Which was Nike, the pig, Charles. So that was the first time that I actually tapped into another platform that was not ETH, Sol, or Bitcoin. So Cardano was like my fourth one. And actually, I did like the ease of use of it. I like the platform. I actually like the platform too, where you check the meme tokens. It's very sleek, very modern, very hip. And it moves fast too. I don't know. I just really like the platform. The only thing is that one of the difference that I saw is like with the Sol platform and the ETH and all that stuff, it's like if you want to see like the wallets, the whale wallets, etc., to see, copy and trade those wallets or who has, the biggest bag, etc. You can't do that with Cardano. I think you have to sign up or sign in. Julie, did you experience that?
I don't know how to do that, but now that you say it, I want to find out.
There's
let me see.
Not Tap Tools, but Cardano Scan, I think is
there a different one?
I think a lot of that has to do with like Cardano's not as popular as other chains. So eventually like some developer or some other project will make that a thing where you can filter for wallet addresses. Like even some of the on-chain analytics firms like Into the Block. I wish all these on-chain analytic firms would like just join one, because I hate subscribing to 8 ones because one does something better. It's just annoying as hell. But like Into the Block used to like not have any like Cardano or Cardano or Polkadot, on-chain metrics, but Sentiment did, and like Arc Intelligence, when they came out, they had like everything under the sun. But then it's like, oh god, Dune Analytics is really good. But as far as filtering for things like individual wallets that are moving things that you can monitor, that's up to like individual groups or individuals to create a service that will allow people to filter for that. And unfortunately, Cardano is just not as popular as Solana's network to do those kind of things. Unless there is something I could be talking out of my ass, and go, oh, that guy's a fucking idiot. But that's
from what I understand, or from what I've gathered, because I've kind of dug in and asked people, why not Cardano? And so the one thing that stood out to me that I've heard is that Cardano is a little more complicated to build on. And so the coding is just slightly different. And so it makes it a little more complex for people to dig into. So while that is a hindrance, it's also a good thing, because like they had that DDoS attack, and the person who was attacking Cardano didn't know that there was like this little exploit. So they counterattacked the attacker and drained all his Cardano with the exploit. So
that was pretty badass.
Yeah, it was super badass. Yeah, it was cool.
I was listening to a space when that went on, and I was writing the light paper, so I can't remember what I heard exactly, but like somebody left and made a post or on X, and all of a sudden it stopped. But yeah, the guy like So I hate coding. I don't. When I look at code, I don't know. I just want to walk away from it. But he posted like a screenshot of it, and like people who know code, are like, oh my god! And I'm like, what is that? But yeah, you ended up taking the guy's collateral for all the transactions.
When the guy realized what was happening, he tried to stop the attack, but it was like too late, and the counterattack was already deployed. Yeah.
When you put it in a contract, it's going to execute that contract no matter how long it takes.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's like he got to like, yeah.
So I have a follow-up question. Okay, so the guy that initiated the attack on Cardano, he had an exploit on his contract.
So what it was that for the transaction to process, it needed like a flexible usage of ADA so that the transaction would go through. But it was like something where that exploit, because he didn't know that you had to protect that, they were able to counterattack, and it just did a bunch of transactions, like minusing that ADA each time. And so before he realized what was happening, and you were probably in that space with me. It was Avatar Nick that was hosting. There was like almost 600 people in there when he had the aha moment of, oh my gosh, I see that we can get this guy. And then they jumped off into the Discord and then planned a counterattack.
I think that was the one.
It was really cool. It was a pretty epic moment if you were there live.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, the guy spent some money to show the resiliency of the network, because all that really happened. I mean, I wrote an article about it in the Light paper. All that really happened was, I mean, some of the SPOs were experiencing like a
just longer than normal. Yeah.
Yeah, but not all of them, but just some of the validators experienced
which just showed that the system works the way it was designed to. And so it just made me so bullish on Cardano, and seeing that they, and the pig had only been out for like 5 days before someone decided, oh, this isn't okay. Like, how can you talk about Cardano for 5 days? Like, let's go attack the chain. So
it's unfortunate how, and I'm guilty of it too, but like, it's unfortunate how people get into their camps, but it's unfortunate, but it's easy to do, because if you have all your money in Ethereum or Solana, it's very easy to naturally want to defend it and knock everything else down, because I mean, you've got stuff at risk. So yeah, it's just
hacker got attacked.
Yeah. And then they ended up donating the seized collateral to one of the development parts of the network.
All the money that was drained went back to like the Cardano community.
That is so freaking dope.
We did a Robin Hood attack. Yeah.
Like, don't mess with us. We are going to show you real quick.
It was a pretty cool thing that happened. It didn't last very long, but it was cool when it happened.
So what do you think is going to be the next meme token? Any predictions or any?
I mean, there's like different ones popping up all the time. I mean, now it's almost becoming more saturated, because people in the space have realized it's gotten a lot easier. The user experience on a lot of these networks, especially like Solana, has gotten so much. And the founder of StockPuts, Howard Lindzen, he's talked about the degenerate economy, and it's this thing where you create where meme coins are more than just meme coins. They're like a representation, a tradable representation of the now, and like whatever's important or whatever is in the conversation. That's something that people can capitalize on and make money on if they choose to. It's very, like I said earlier, it's very easy now to create tokens, and because of how easy it is now to list things on certain dexes, it's very easy to get them out there, and you get a few friends or a few spam bots on X or wherever. It's like boom, people. All of a sudden, it's like a snowball or rolling down a hill. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep. So we want to thank you, Jonathan, for coming on. The last question that I have for you is your wife in crypto? Does she own any, or she just kind of is like, you deal with it all?
Oh yeah. She owns crypto because I own crypto. So yeah, that's she actually does the books in the family, because after I'm done with work, the last thing I want to do is like go through the books. Although my wife is when she was 12 and she got her first job, she went to Lake Michigan Credit Union, found the dude behind the desk and opened up her own savings account. That guy is now our Edward Jones dude. So she's had the same dude like for her savings and retirement since she was 12 years old.
Wow.
For like 30 years.
Wow.
It's nuts.
Your wife is probably going to be like, were you doxing my age on live today?
Oh, man. She'll never watch this. God, I hope she doesn't. I'm not going to share the link with her. How was the conversation? Oh, it's good. There weren't a lot of people. I was fine.
We're good. Nobody knows anything. Hey, who knows? Maybe one day we can have your wife on the show and tell us how she deals with you when the market goes down and stuff like that. And you know,
I never have any mood swings. I never get angry.
Wifey's perspective.
If I don't eat, I'm never hangry. I mean, I'm a catch.
All of the above. You guys heard it here first. John, want to thank you again, for coming on. Everybody, for those tuning in right now, we didn't even do like a middle recap. We are live with Jonathan Morgan. He is the lead crypto analyst and writer for Stockwits. And if you don't know, now you know. And then you can go ahead and follow him at John Morgan _HODL on the X platform. Look forward to having him again, or wifey come back. Do you have any last parting words for us, John?
Oh, like about what? Like
anything.
Don't
jump off the bridge when we go red.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, if crypto's something that you believe in, then anytime it's in a bear market or goes down, you should be happy. You should be happy as a fat kid at a candy store on a buy one get 10 free day, because I mean that's if you get a paycheck like me and everybody else, you dollar cost average in. I mean the statistics so far are that's like with Bitcoin or any of the other like top 50, well not 50. It's a thing that is just continuing to grow. So, don't risk more money than you can afford to lose. And if you don't know how much money you're supposed to risk, I always tell my friends like this. It's like, you're married? Yeah. Okay. Well, then whatever that number is divided by 2, and then divided by 2, divided by 2, divided by 2 again. And that's probably the amount that's okay to risk. I don't know. But I have no idea. Talk to a financial advisor. But yeah, down times I always view as opportunities now.
Love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. Julie, any last words?
No, I got nothing for you.
Well, thank you. We want to appreciate everybody tuning in. This is Gokhshtein Media, and this show was powered by the Gokhshtein Media Network. Tune in next Friday for another episode of UnScripted, and who knows where we're going to go off the road. Peace, everyone.
Thank you for having me, guys.